don't believe people who are telling you you'll never succeed, you're not worthy, it's somebody else's fault that you're not making it. Take responsibility of your own life. Find the hope in your own life. As Charlie said, fall in love, get married, serve something higher. It's anyone who is telling you that everything in life is holding you back. That's a lie. It's an absolute lie.
Charlie died for the First Amendment, and he cared that much. And I think that if Charlie knew that that was a possible outcome, he would have still gone to college campuses and defended the First Amendment. So just let that sink in, that Charlie was willing to die for something he believed in so much. So, we all need to find something we can believe in that much.
But I hope this is going to inspire the Reform Party in the United Kingdom and the Conservatives in Canada, and I hope it's going to encourage a global movement against globalism.
Sydney Vizard for Rebel News here in Phoenix, Arizona for the memorial event dedicated to Charlie Kirk. Kirk was assassinated by a murderer who said that he had had enough of Charlie Kirk's hate. Now, the hate in question was simply the fact that Kirk wasn't a leftist. He was interested in dialogue. That was his primary function, was to talk with people. Practically speaking, he was just a regular conservative, a regular person who had his set of ideas. And for that, he was murdered. This is something that shook the nation. That's why at this memorial event, I spoke with 3 individuals in the realm of politics, in the public realm of politics, being nationally renowned radio host and entrepreneur Glenn Beck, comedian and political activist Alex Stein, and political activist and campaigner Scott Presler.
Some of the very people who call you a hater for using the wrong pronoun were filled with glee at the killing of a father with 2 beautiful young children. And the same commentators who this week are screaming fascism over a canceled late-night TV show where the anchor had no talent and no ratings. Last week were implying that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him. No side in American politics has a monopoly on disturbed or misguided people. But there's one part of our political community which believes they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes they have also a monopoly on power, thought, and speech. Well, that's not happening anymore. We've turned that corner very quickly. Tragically, atrocities of this kind that we saw in Utah, of all places, are the eventual consequence of that kind of thinking.
I am a conservative activist in America. Don't hold it against me. And I register voters. I was inspired by President Obama when I realized that our country and our globe was kind of going in the wrong direction. Now I started my own organization where we're registering voters, and I'm working on Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and my goal is I want to help protect the House of Representatives and President Trump's ability to legislate. I was recently very humbly invited to the White House, and in March I was in the Oval Office with President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. And so our work in Pennsylvania collectively, I think, definitely helped secure that victory for him in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I'm here honoring my friend, Charlie Kirk.
I'm primetime 99 Alex Stein here at Charlie Kirk's Memorial in Phoenix, Arizona. I just want to say you guys are a poor representation of the youth of our nation. Let's go! Let's go! This is the future. If this is our future, we are fun.
Now, of course, it's a very sad day. Before I touch on that, can you just tell us why do you take that humorous approach?
Well, humor right now is, I don't even know if it's under attack. I mean, it's hard to be funny after such a tragic situation. I know Charlie would want us to keep going and being funny, but just being at this event, the emotional spectrum I'm going through is happiness one second, sad the next. It's crazy.
Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Glenn Beck. I don't even know what to describe myself as. A commentator and entrepreneur, whatever.
And as an observer, I can say he is very popular. He's almost got a standing ovation as he left. But obviously, there's a very tragic situation that is Kirk's passing. What are the key takeaways from your perspective?
First, Charlie was a friend and he was a good man. He was sincere. There was no hate in his heart. This is predictable if you look at history. History rhymes. We're going through the same time period that we went through in the 1960s. How it ends this time, I don't know, but I was really pleased to see that for the most part, this is a God movement that's happening today, and that's the only answer left to us. You know, we're gonna if we don't reattach ourselves to God and to love and the basic principles of being decent human beings, we're not going to survive. And the battles that are coming are spiritual first, and we just have to reconnect. And I'm pleased to think that Charlie would be very happy with what he's seeing all around the world, where people are standing up and no one is pushing back in anger. I haven't seen any "I want vengeance" kind of movement. And that'll kill us.
Moving forward, obviously there's this deep sense of mourning that the nation is feeling. And there's talk about, how to move forward as the Republicans. There's a lot of anger, but I don't think they're channeling that towards violence like the Democrats. No. So how do you see this energy being channeled?
Anger into action. But I always qualify that because I want to be emphatic that we are peaceful and we are going to channel our anger into positive action. And I think Erica really said it best. She said after the assassination, we weren't rioting, we weren't wreaking havoc. This is a revival. And we are registering voters and we are engaging people of faith. 30% of Christians are not registered to vote. 30% of Christians are not registered to vote. You want a revival? We must be in every church, we must be in every synagogue, we must be in every place of worship, getting those people registered and mobilizing them. And then we will have radically positive change in our country, in Canada, and across the globe. I think people of faith, if we unlocked the true potential of people of faith, oh my gosh, we would have such a different globe.
That young man, I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love. Love for our enemies and love for those who persecute us.
As a Canadian, unfortunately, there's a lot of negativity towards President Donald Trump here from Canada. There was an attempted assassination against him, and then Charlie Kirk, another prominent conservative Republican, was quite literally assassinated. This left-leaning ideology that's so angry, so hateful against figures like Trump and Kirk, whether it be in Canada or in the United States, how do you diagnose that? How do you tell them, hey, maybe this isn't the reality that you're perceiving?
So I can't say anything about Canada. I love Canada. I love Canadians. I want great things between our countries. But I can tell you here that there's this void of decency that is happening. And look, I've had my share of saying, angry things, et cetera, but as we progress closer and closer to this cliff, I'm hoping that we will find our balance again. I was in Auschwitz. I brought my children to Auschwitz about 15 years ago because I saw what's coming, and what's coming is now here. And I had them sit with a woman who was one of the righteous among the nations who was a Christian that saved a bunch of Jews. And after we were done talking, everybody left, and I stayed behind, and I asked her, I think these times are coming again. What do we do? How? I have an audience, a large audience. How do I water the tree of righteousness that's in everybody? And she said to me, "You misunderstand. The righteous didn't suddenly become righteous. They just refused to go over the cliff with everyone else." What that means is it doesn't take a lot to be a hero. It doesn't. It just takes remembering that we're all in this together, remembering the difference between right and wrong, the difference that there's so many new things that do not compute. You know, they don't work, and we're just expected to believe it and accept it. No, I have a responsibility to remember what is true, what has happened in the past and has failed, what has always worked through eternity. Those eternal truths we must stand for. So the answer is just that. Just don't go over the cliff with everybody else. Just remain standing where you were 15 years ago, when truth still kind of mattered. Stand up for truth.
I have spent the last 11 days peacefully exposing people that have celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination. Yes, I believe in free speech, but I'm not the government. I'm a private citizen. And if you at home celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination, I'm not going to stop until every single person peacefully is held accountable. And especially if you're an educator and you're responsible for the hearts and minds of children, and you celebrated his assassination, you cannot be near children. If you're a healthcare professional responsible for life and death situations, and you celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination, you should not be in the healthcare industry. And if you're in a government position responsible for protecting and serving the American people, and you celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination, we are very peacefully going to expose every single one of you and hold you accountable. I cannot change those people's hearts and minds right now, but what I can do is cause a deterrent effect. That other people that may agree with it, well, let this be a warning to them that should you allow that wickedness and that contemptible action of daring to publicly celebrate, well, we're going to make sure that these people being accountable is going to make people think a second time before daring to expose themselves publicly.
I remember seeing a multitude of times the high praise you get for the work that you do in changing people's minds. Much like Charlie Kirk, who unfortunately we're here attending a memorial event for him.
Yes.
Are you concerned about continuing on the work you do, engaging one-on-one as extensively?
No. No, not for a second. And you probably just saw me for the last 20 minutes. No, I'm shaking every hand. I'm out personally registering voters. And I want people to know, faith over fear. I am not going to let fear rule my life. I'm not going to let threats of force and intimidation rule me. And in fact, I'm more emboldened than ever. And quite frankly, and I mean this as non-egotistically as possible, people are looking right now to leadership. And with my platform, they are looking to see, what is Scott doing? I must be out continuing to register voters in the field, going to fairs and festivals. And we have elections this November, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Virginia. And so, no, I am not going to change a single thing that I do. And you will see me out there continuing to court voters where they are.
Looking to the future, after this event, how do you see the humor, the landscape on campuses? How is that changing?
Well, college campuses are all similar. It's young people, so young people are going to always be edgy. So humor's not going to die with Charlie. Charlie's legacy is going to live on, and people are going to be funny, and people are going to debate more now because of Charlie.
Be very careful when you deal with Puerto Rican women. You heard that from someone with a lot of experience. Wait, come here and say that on mic. No, don't boo her, Go get some footage, Jimmy, go get some footage of her. But why do you want me to die? That's not cool.
I don't want everyone to die, actually. You know what? We should abort every kid ever.
The education systems, secondary education, is long known to be a quote-unquote indoctrination system for a lot of left-leaning ideas. But then, on the other hand, we have a person like Charlie Kirk who is going to campuses, who is talking to thousands upon thousands and thousands of people from the other end of it. It seems like, and probably has been always, a battleground to get the minds of our youth. What is your message to the youngest generation of our age?
Don't believe people who are telling you you'll never succeed, you're not worthy, It's somebody else's fault that you're not making it. Take responsibility of your own life. Find the hope in your own life. As Charlie said, fall in love, get married, serve something higher. It's anyone who is telling you that everything in life is holding you back. That's a lie. It's an absolute lie. It's a lie. There is so much hope to be had by everybody. All we have to do is believe in ourselves, believe in the decency of other people, and expect decency from yourself first, and then others. It's so easy to fix this, and there's the hard way to fix it and the easy way. Back in the 1930s, it took the hard way to fix it. Let's not go down that road again.
What is the most serious takeaway that you would present to the audience, to the public, about this moment in time?
Just that Charlie died for the First Amendment, and he cared that much. And I think that if Charlie knew that that was a possible outcome, he would have still gone to college campuses and defended the First Amendment. So just let that sink in, that Charlie was willing to die for something he believed in so much. So, we all need to find something we can believe in that much.
Last word to you.
It's a sad day, but we're here to honor Charlie.
The midterms are coming. President Trump, after the 2018 election, where Democrats won, was made a lame duck. He lost 2 years of his presidency unable to legislate because Republicans didn't come out, independent voters didn't come out. My message is, if you want President Trump to be successful, Americans, vote.gov, vote.gov, vote.gov. Register to vote and make a plan to vote in the midterm elections in 2026. Otherwise, everything that you have worked tirelessly for, this great journey of winning the White House, having it stolen from us, and having a redemption of putting President Trump back with the popular vote, winning 7 swing states, that will all have been for nothing. You must vote. Register to vote at your current address with your preferred political party. Make sure you're an active voter and you vote in every single gosh darn election. If I can move to Pennsylvania just to vote for Donald Trump and launch an organization to help save our country, you at home can do a little bit more to protect our freedom. And our Canadians, don't vote for Trudeau's party. Don't vote for the Liberals. I need you to actually, my beautiful Albertans, you have the Republican Party of Alberta now, and who knows, maybe Canada will have some secession going on. I don't know. But I hope this is going to inspire the Reform Party in the United Kingdom and the Conservatives in Canada, and I hope it's going to encourage a global movement against globalism. And I know that's ironic, but thank you for having me.
You guys are some of the bravest reporters I have seen in the world. I can't thank you for what you put up with and all that you do. Thank you. I'm a huge fan of Rebel News. Thank you.
For Rebel News, I'm Sidney Fassard. RebelNewsUSA.com is where you have to go if you want to see all of our reports on this event here in Phoenix dedicated to Charlie Kirk in his passing. And you can see all that at RebelNewsUSA.com.